Hello, welcome back. Churrasco from Ecuador. You heard me. Churrasco from Ecuador. Ecuador is a nation in South America and they have some delicious food. The churrasco, which consists of a flank steak, is one of their traditional meals. But the way that they do it there is different than how they do in Puerto Rico. In essence, the churrasco, what made the churrasco from Ecuador unique is the side dishes that you have to have when you prepare that churrasco. We're talking here about the white rice. We're talking here about the fried potatoes. We're talking here about the fried eggs. And of course, they have a little bit of salad here, maybe an avocado, maybe a little bit of plantain, whatever is required. But it's delicious. I'm going to show you how to marinate, how to prepare, and how to bring those side dishes. So go nowhere. Let's have some fun. Subscribe. Let's create. So the thing about flank steak is that it's located in a part of the cow that is very lean. This meat is lean, so you have to do a little bit of prepping if you want to, at least a few hours before. I'm going to do it overnight at the very minimum. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to put a tiny bit of vinegar, not a lot. I'm going to use it in this little brush. And I'm going to flow around just a little bit. I do the same on the other side. Just a little bit. And a tiny bit of olive oil. Or whatever oil you want. Just a little bit. You know, like a couple drops. Spread out. And do the same. Apply some sea salt. Put some ground black pepper. I'm going to put some turmeric. Rub it around. Repeat the same process on the other side. You're in essence creating an adobo. Now you're going to mince a couple of garlic on one side, couple on the other. Grab onions cut vertically. And I have an entire onion. You're going to put it here with the steak. The entire onion that you cut. And if you want to, you can put a bay leaf. And then what you do is, if you have a long enough stick bag log to put it inside, I don't. So I'm going to use aluminum foil. And I'm going to centralize the flavor. And in my case, I'm going to refrigerate it because I'm not going to cook this today. That's it. So I have this out of the refrigerator for about 45 minutes now because you want this at room temperature. How beautiful, huh? It looks beautiful. Very hot pan. Put some oil, whatever oil you want. I'm also going to add a little bit of vinegar, white vinegar in my case. Couple little caps. Now you're going to add your flank steak. This baby was jumping, by the way, because my pan was so hot. So I have a mess of oil flying. And it can happen sometimes. It can happen. So I have to pull it out a little bit. And when that happens, just turn the heat down so it can stabilize. And then raise it back up. So you're going to cook one side for about, I say, 3 minutes. Flip it. Maybe same amount of time. It's been about 3 minutes. I have a high heat, by the way. Look at this beauty. So what I'm going to do now, I'll flip it. I'm going to do it for about maybe 3, worst case 4 minutes. But now I'm going to add the onions. And I'm going to add all my onions because I love this onion. There are different ways of cooking this, by the way. You can cook it without the onions. But because of the side dishes, which play a big role on this, like the white rice, the fried potato, having this nice onion is going to add that flavor when you mix things together. Now earlier my stove was flying when I put the vinegar on top of the oil at high heat. And it was because it took me a little bit of time to move the steak into the skillet, into the pan. And what happened is the outside temperature creates a reaction. That's why you have to be a little bit quicker. Once you put that vinegar in, put that steak so it's nowhere to jump, you know. I have some fireworks practically. Since we're jumping around. I said, holy cow, what did I do? That looking pretty? Now I love to cook with turmeric because of the anti-inflammatory aspect. It's truly a great thing to have. And in essence, when I marinated this with the turmeric and I marinated with the sea salt and the pepper and the garlic, it's like doing an homemade adobo, real-time homemade, fresher, not this powdery stuff that you buy in the store of adobo already mixed. If you're going to buy something that's powder, buy it stand alone, meaning black pepper. Black pepper already made in powder, you can buy like that. But when it's mixed with other things to create something, I don't do that. Exception when I buy rubs here in the South to rub meat and stuff like that. That's an exception because that's an art. And typically, when I buy from small businesses and people that start putting it together when I order it. This is looking pretty good actually. Let me take a look on the other side. Woo! I'd say another minute, what do you think? So I'm going to let this baby rest for about minimum 8 minutes. Minimum. Maybe 10 minutes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put carefully an aluminum foil around so the heat transfer within the meat and not outside with the environment and the outside area. So I'm using vegetable oil. And I'm going to add the potatoes. And I'm going to cook them. This is not science. For the rice, I have 2 cups here. As a result, I'm going to put a little bit more than a cup. It's about a cup and 1/3. Couple drops of oil. Once again, this is a high heat. On to add the rice. Let me see how much more water I have. This much? Yeah, that's perfect. That's like, you know, the tip of my finger. So I'm going to let the water boil with the rice. Once it boils, you turn the heat down from high to medium. It's doing now, high to medium. And you cover it. And you watch it until the water evaporates somehow. You know, it's going to evaporate. So it's going to kind of drain in a way via evaporation process. time to get the fries out. Put it in a paper, in a plate with paper, napkins, so they drain a little bit. Ooh, beautiful. So see how the water evaporated? So what you do now, you start stirring it around. From the bottom up, because you don't want stuff sticking at the bottom. You don't want burnt rice. Not for this recipe. See how grainy? So what you're going to do, you turn the heater lower to, I would say medium low. Turn it down to medium low. I'm going to cover up again for a couple minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Let the steam do its magic. So have the heater high. I'm going to put a tiny bit of olive oil. Well, just a tiny bit. And to float it around. With a brush. Start frying those eggs. Let me turn the heat to medium high.